Hello, hello. They are bringing inmates out.
Hi. Four different cities. There was this one city
Mhm,
where I found a 24-hour diner.
mhm.
I was served by a robot. I
Wow.
ordered from a tablet at the table
Mhm.
and I paid a machine on the way out. I never interacted with humans. The food was okay. The price wasn't bad, but that's the only time I found a 24-hour diner. But it was a pain.
Okay, that is on my list. I don't even say bucket list anymore because I think that's so morbid for me to say that, but it is on my list to go see.
Japan.
Yes, Japan is on my list. Never been.
We got on the fast train, 200 miles an hour for major city to major city.
Mhm.
And then we went on a smaller train, about 120, 120
Mhm.
miles an hour, to go to smaller towns. And that was the highlight of the trip. Besides all the fancy Tokyo National Museum and the sumo tournament and the
Mhm.
baseball games, that one town was incredible. You know, they have like 50 castles still left, and they're mostly rebuilt.
Oh.
They're all rebuilt. Uh, a lot of them have been burnt, and a lot of them were bombed, but it's still beautiful to see. Uh, but the gardens, the trees, and how they take care of them,
Oh, yeah.
it's incredible. I mean, there was like a 70-foot tall tree, and they had poles to hold up the branches so they wouldn't break because it's up in the mountains where there's a lot of snow.
Mhm.
And they build a canopy of electric wires over the winter so that the snow doesn't fall on the trees and break them. And that's how this tree is 900 years old.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of stuff like that. A lot of stuff like that.
See, I want to get a chance to see that.
22,
And of course, there are places in the United States I still have not seen.
25,
I want to see
2022.
Live in Hawaii, you know?
I never been to Hawaii.
So that's on my
We're not
list.
beach people. Yeah, you're pretty. You're a pretty woman. You can go to Hawaii and look good. There's so many things you can make a list and I mean, I'm thinking and try to see what's that. I mean, and where do I want to spend my time?
Yeah, I just want to enjoy life. So.
For a lot of people, that means staying home.
Mhm.
For a lot of people, it means close to home.
No, sometimes that's great. I will tell you, if I'm not traveling, what I really love the most is sitting on the patio in the backyard, drinking some lemonade, reading a book, listening to the birds, as my grandmother would say, and my mom would say, listen to the birds gossip.
Would drink lemonade, use apple juice.
Yeah, and listen to the birds gossip. There's something about being outside and being, hearing nature, hearing a fountain in the back, smelling the honeysuckle and the flowers. It's great.
Last month, I installed a new fountain about that big in
Mhm.
my backyard. That I bought used on Hildebrand from the antique store.
Mhm.
And one of the things I bought, besides the tennis shoes I'm wearing in Japan, was new binocs. And the ones I have are 10 years old, same brand, Nikon, almost the same deal, but they're so much better.
I still
Yeah,
forgot. I could have given you some money and said, pick up my mama Komodo while you're there. Curses, I forgot.
But the investment in the new binocs was smart. We're using the heck out of them now. I'm gonna send my old ones to get refurbished. Not God, if I could just figure out how. But it was so painful coming on it. 17-hour flight.
Mhm.
It was so painful. It's like, can I do this again? I'm not sure I want to do this again.
Well, I think 17-hour flights are great if you're on your own private plane, because then you can stretch out. When you look at air travel during the 60s, they didn't try to squeeze everybody in like sardines. You had, room to move around. Now it's sardines, and then everybody is bringing every animal they want to bring, and it's overcrowding.
The wife is taken on long haul, like an hour flight from Dallas, not so much. but on the long haul portion, she buys it for living. Yeah, but on the exit, oh yeah, $100, $150 per fee. Yeah, boy, is that worth it.
Oh, it is.
Because you gotta plan it. I hit taking sleeping pills and my diabetes pills, and I mistook them. And so the whole way there, I was wide awake. And why didn't they work? I took the wrong pill. But on the way back, I took the right pill. And with the movement of the earth and the airstream, it was 4 hours shorter than the way there.
Mhm.
So, it depends how you find or where you
Well, I
find.
will tell you, usually if I'm not driving, I immediately fall asleep in any moving vehicle. So if I'm in the car and I'm not driving and I'm in even if I'm in the front passenger seat, I try to stay awake for the driver, but I'm usually.
That's bad. Up until I was 17, we worked the fields,
Mhm,
sun up to sundown,
mhm.
all over the Midwest. You're hoeing a mile long in the heat. And then you come back and you take a 15-minute break before you head out again. My brother Freddie, who you see around here,
Mhm.
would fall asleep for those 15 minutes. I was so jealous that I can't fall asleep like that at all. Anyway, you're lucky you can fall
Oh,
asleep.
yeah, I'm just,
Look, I try to be early, but it doesn't do any good. Everything is closed. I've been here for 40 minutes for what?
ah,
We're gonna make things for you to arrive. But I'm always here for you.
oh, I appreciate that.
I was gonna get up this game because I didn't get paid, but I stayed on it to keep your docket moving.
I
So
appreciate
you
you.
know that. That's what you tell me. Be on time. I said, hey, I'm always on time.
You're always on time.
You'll forget next time. You'll forget.
All right. Look at Deputy Laura, all of the attorneys on time. It's raining pennies from heaven.
Why isn't the court canceled? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. You have to speak to the powers that be.
You're the boss, Judge.
Oh, no. Deputy Laura, I had the happy song in my head, Pennies from Heaven, but then Rick and I started talking. Then I was like, yeah, rainy night in Georgia. Feels like it's raining all over the world. That song in its level of sadness is right up there with Patches. Oh, Patches is sadder, isn't it?
I wonder if I might impose on you to read some of the notes that I took on that trip.
Oh,
And
yes.
I'll collect it from you next week sometime.
Awesome.
It's a little silly. It's a bad handwriting, but I tried to spell correctly at least.
No, 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 I can read it. Thank you so much. I'm gonna read it. It's always my intention to take notes on trips and then I don't. I'm always, let me get a journal and write down what I see. And then I forget.
I've never done it.
Yeah.
I did one when I was in the Amazon, but I don't know what I did with it.
Ah. Okay, see, I would love to see the Amazon, but not from the ground.
On a propeller plane, deep into the jungle where you see nothing but green, nothing, as far as the eye can see. That's incredible. Or to be in a little town where after you land and you see a native coming out of the jungle in a loincloth with a long spear. Now, that's something you'll remember for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Or when you come back and there's flies coming out of your skin, that's something you'll remember.
No, I do not want to remember flies coming out of my skin. What are you talking about?
That's what happened to me. They lay their eggs in your skin and then they come out days later. I remember my eye was shut like that, but yes, go to the Amazon. It's an experience.
Okay, that sounded a good selling point. Raphael, he's been to the Amazon and I said, well, I would love to see the Amazon, but just not from the ground floor. And he's like, oh, there are things that you'll never experience, like coming back home and flies are coming out of your skin. I'm like, what do you mean? Flies coming out of your skin? And he said flies laid their eggs under his skin. And when he came back from home, you know, they hatched from underneath his skin.
Where did they put the football?
I don't know what they were.
Didn't you use, I guess off doesn't work in the jungle?
Were you like making it afraid or something?
Yeah. Off doesn't work in, I mean, don't you?
I even had a suit made so that they wouldn't attack me. But I stayed in another little town before I got to the heart of the jungle. By then it was too late. They had already attacked me. So, yeah, sure it works. And DDT barely has an impact. DDT.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was in Cambodia in the jungle at Angkor Wat, and it's surrounded by jungle.
Who are you?
There's no birds. There's no bugs. Nothing. It was quiet. They use DDT a lot there. So the Amazon is just too big. Just too big to do that with.
Well, I don't think you should do it. Let the Amazon be the Amazon, you know?
I took a 3-day trip into the jungle on a canoe with a couple of natives. That was an experience. I stayed in the jungle. All you smell is sweat and smoke when you're staying with them. It's rough. But you see how they live and where they get their water, where they do their bodily functions, and how they fish. And then they walk me around the jungle and they know everything. They know where the plant is. It's got something that's gonna be harvestable. Pineapples, fruit, but they know exactly, they got them counted. It's not wham bam chance, thank you. They know exactly what it is. They live in the rhythm with the place that they're in. It was something else. This is about 30 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I went there to try to affiliate something called yopo, which is a drug that they make from the roots of separate trees. After that long trip, I determined that there's better drugs than Hildebrand. I know you're a Baptist, enjoy my, it was 30 years ago.
Gonna save it?
All right, so everyone, need everyone, your paperwork turned in before 10.
Are you serious? Officer, may I switch it?
Yes, sir.
Can you two please switch?
I got confirmed that this relative request.
I know.
You're actually wrong. This is at 14 years. They just let them know that you're on court, they need to call me, just let them know. It's just, Jay.
Can you put that one with these files up there? You're on your own.
All right, Juan Ortiz.
May I speak on his behalf, Your Honor, just momentarily? Mr. Ortiz is not a relative of mine. I was retained by him. I don't have a fee dispute with him at all. Yesterday, I told him what the offer was. He accepted the offer. We had talked about that offer for about a month, and he knew what it was gonna be. The young lady worked very hard to get the paperwork together. This morning, I'm confronted with him giving me a paper saying that he seeks a court-appointed attorney. I have no problem with that. I want to start my weekend early if he wants a new attorney. So I'm not opposed to that, and I'd ask to withdraw.
You're going to jury trial, sir. And this is your attorney.
It's just the fact that I feel that I wasn't represented right.
Nope, stop right there. Let me explain something to you. This is what
Yes, sure.
people don't understand. I don't know why the legal profession is a profession where when you have a client, some of them think it's the attorney's fault that they're in the situation that they're in.
Yes, John.
This is your attorney. And what ends up happening is I require that the state make an offer. The state has made their offer. State, are you going to be changing your offer to Mr. Juan Francisco Ortiz? And if a new attorney were to come in, are you changing your offer to Mr. Juan Francisco Ortiz? That offer is not being changed. Today is your plea deadline date.
Yes,
If you are not entering into a plea today, then your case is going to trial and it's going to trial quickly.
Yes, Your
And you're not entitled to a court-appointed attorney.
Okay, Your Honor.
All right, do you understand?
I understand, Your Honor.
And sometimes clients, they don't like the offer that's been tendered to them. Their attorney, your attorney can't force the state to give you what you want. They can't force the state to see the case that they see it or the way that you see it.
Yes,
The
sir.
state will look at the facts in the case and make what offer they think is a just offer to be made. Because their role, according to the law, is to see that justice is done. Do you understand?
I understand, Your Honor.
All right, now do you want a jury trial?
Your Honor, I would like to have some legal counsel.
Well, here's your counsel right here. Have a seat. He'll speak to you.
You will.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Bashan, they've rescheduled the Friday night flicks in the park due to rain.
Oh.
So they do it at Woodlawn Park, so
I like that, that idea.
They-
I've always said I wanted to go out there and do it, but I haven't made it yet.
well, I will tell you their upcoming dates, June 13th, A Bug's Life. June 20th, Minions, the latest one. June 27th, Pets. You should take Journey and you should take the pets to see Pets. July 11th is Goofy. And July 25th is Minecraft. So people said Minecraft was good. I just never really played the game, so I don't know if I should see it or not. Mhm.
All the endings.
I think he, okay, thank you.
That's way better.
I thank you. They're not ready. All right, Brandon Diaz, come down. Hello. You survived the rain.
I survived. It's brutal out there.
Oh, it is. Court is calling 2024 CR 2831 State versus Brandon Diaz. Could I have parties announced?
Rick Pena for the state of Texas. Martin Guetta, attorney for Brandon Diaz.
And are you Mr. Diaz?
Yes.
All right, this defense has requested a bond. He's entitled to a bond because it's a deferred adjudication. My understanding is that you all have made an agreement for $10,000. Is that correct?
Sure.
Does anyone have the allegations in the motion to revoke
Your Honor,
so that I can set appropriate bond conditions? Oh, okay, all right, thank you.
yeah,
Just number one.
All right, and what is the alleged? Ah. Oh, thank you. All right, so I'll set your bond at $10,000. All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Brandon Edward Diaz.
All right, so have you used any type of drugs in the past? No marijuana, no alcohol, nothing?
No,
All right, have you ever been diagnosed with any mental health
not
issues?
that I'm aware of. I know that I have anxiety, but never been diagnosed with it.
All right. All right, what I'll do is I'll follow your agreement, set the bond at $10,000. I'll do the referral to Center for Healthcare Services. If you go there and they discover that this is normal anxiety, it's just maybe anxiety about your legal matters, then they may decide something different for you. But just to be on the safe side, I'll do a referral for that.
Okay, thank you so much, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, so we can go off the record. So is this going to be a contested?
I need to speak to the prosecutors over in the county court first, Your Honor. I'm just getting discovery on that new case.
Additionally, Your Honor, I guess while we're off the record, they were just asked as part of his bond conditions, the victim that was involved in the original injury to a child charge, if there was and no conflict order, that still be in place.
Well, let me see.
And actually, that's
Moment, Your Honor.
Sure.
I don't think there's a need for that. He does have regular contact with his children, his child.
Well, what
And
I
there's
can,
not a no contact order as a condition of probation.
all right, well, what I can say is during, and I think I'm very thorough when I'm setting conditions. And if there would have been an issue at the time for him having contact, I would have had it in the conditions of probation. And those conditions are not in his conditions of probation. I'll have probation double check just to be sure though. Vashon, on this case, do you know if he has a no contact order in place with the complainant? I don't think there is, because if I remember this case correctly, the injury wasn't, it was an injury, but it wasn't
No, Judge, there's no.
done intentionally.
Right.
No, Judge, there's not a no contact order in place.
Okay,
And he has completed his parenting class, Your Honor.
yes. So it was, the injury had to do with
there's a discovery knowledge.
evading. Yeah. I will tell you this, but what I am gonna add to his conditions of bond is I'm adding no driving. Because obviously, and I'm not taking what they're saying is true, but you shouldn't drive.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Then, Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
Can you put this for a contested hearing, the week of June 23rd? And then council, if it turns out it's not contested, that's fine.
Okay.
All right, so it'll be June 24th. And if it's not going to be contested, council, if you'll let probation know before that date.
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, he needs a reset form for June 24th. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You have to. Right, I'm gonna definitely make you be separate some options somewhere. Because the ending. You can have it.
It's like.
Okay. So you should pick it up. and you'll just.
No talking in the box, please.
You.
I'm gonna give this to you. Secretary.
Let's our feet.
I forgot the few.
Yeah.
And play it alone, that's all. I'm getting old. What you could. No, thank you. You don't call me back. That'd be pretty embarrassing. I'm embarrassed enough for one day. Oh, wow. It's not my first time. All right.
Dr. Francis, please.
All right, thank you. Ricardo Vargas.
Present, Your Honor. Morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Judge, I was out of county yesterday and we're back today. I do wanted to ask the court for a reset only to continue to review discovery on this case, and then we should have a resolution on the next setting perhaps.
Okay, let me. All right, Norma. If you can set this the week of June 23rd, is that enough time for you, counsel?
Think so, Judge, as long as we don't do it on Wednesday of that week. Otherwise, everything's good.
All right, do you want the 23rd, 24th, or 26th?
Let's try the 24th.
Okay.
June 24th, Tuesday.
All right. Thank
Thank
you, and
you.
thank you for dressing appropriately.
Doesn't he look good?
Yes, I love that. I love the jacket,
Oh,
and the
thank
color
you. Yeah,
combination is beautiful.
thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, once you sign the reset form, your excuse,
Yeah,
and
thank you.
drive safely out
All right.
there.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be right there.
All right, Michael, that'll be the plea deadline date then.
Oh, good, Judge.
All right, thank you. Yes.
Now I want to see if discovery hours are there.
Oh, no problem.
On this one. Moody.
All right, thank you. And y'all, this motion to withdraw, I think that had already been signed because Michael is now on the case. Yeah. All right. Thank you. The parties on Andre Moody. Drive safely. And I don't know why when people drive, how when you're turning and for some reason, people don't fix the drainage appropriately in many of cities that I've been in. And you have that huge water and it's just all this water piling up. Yes, and you have people who are driving their F-150s, just splashing water on other vehicles.
What's even better than you splash it on pedestrians?
Oh my gosh, yes. And so, and I don't know why this happens. When water gets splashed on your windshield, what is your first reaction?
Oh my God.
Yes. Yeah, you go shots. And I'm like, open your eyes, Stephanie, before you crash. So yeah, that was my experience this morning. People just, but I'm glad I didn't wash my car yesterday. Although my mom always says if you wash your car and it rains the next day, it won't be as dirty as it could have been. So either way, it's good. All right, we're going on the record. The court is calling 2019 CR 8716 State versus Andre Moody. Can I have parties announce?
Opinion for the state of Texas?
Opportunities for Mr. Moody.
And are you Andre Moody?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it? Are you the same Andre Alonzo Moody who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 8716 for the offense of assault, family choking, impeding breath or circulation on June 24th, 2020 for a period of 6 years and extended for 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor, we're here this morning on state's motion to supplement pending motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke probation.
Oh, I need the supplemental. I don't have it.
I can.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Moody, did you review the state's motion to supplement pending motion to enter adjudication of guilt with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state, you may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Violation condition number 29, on or about the 23rd day of February, 2025, in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Andre Alonzo Moody, did not comply with the rules and regulations of the GPS device 2019 CR 8716 in violation of condition number 29.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
State, do you waive the other allegation?
There's no other allegation there.
No, there is, because this is the supplemental, so there's an allegation.
Yes, right. We waived the other allegation that was in the original work potential.
Any objection? Oh, no problem. Any objection?
No objection, Judge.
All right, Mr. Moody, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 29, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 29? Court will find violation of condition number 29 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There's not, Your Honor. I believe we're both hands open to Your Honor on the appropriate punishment. Given that, just from the state's perspective, we're here on the defendant's third motion to revoke, Your Honor. His first one was filed, looks like it's 3 months after he was initially placed on probation being placed in June 2020. He was first MTR'd in September 2020. And at that time, his conditions were amended to include a TAP evaluation. He was extended for 3 years. Then we come back about a year ago in June 2024 for his second MTR, where the conditions were altered and amended again at that point to add no contact with the victim and partial GPS. Additionally, Your Honor, over his history of his probation, he has had 5 positive tests for marijuana. He has had 2 trips to Bexar County outpatient treatment. At no point had he attempted to even begin his parenting classes in almost 5 years of probation. He has not completed any of his community service hours. He has not paid any of his fines and fees. It appears to the state that he's not interested in completing his probation as required to by your honor, and therefore we feel that 3 years prison would be appropriate sentence.
All right, in defense?
Judge, I'd like to call my client as a witness, just.
Sure. Would you raise your right hand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up so that the court reporter can hear. If
Yes.
you state your name for the record.
Andre Alonzo Moody.
Mr. Moody, you've been on probation for going on how many years?
5.
Okay, and in that time, have you had a place to live?
No. Recently, through that time period, I lost all my family, my mom, my sister, my brother, my dad. And so I haven't had nowhere. I've been struggling. I had to when my sister passed, my mom took care of the funeral and the cost. But after that, when my mom passed the following year, I had to do it. My brother's in California. He passed in California. My dad was in California. He was in prison in California. So I had to take care of that. So everything that I was kind of like my little stride that I had, my gainings, I lost it. I had to pay for my mom's funeral. Then I had to afterwards pay for my dad's funeral. Then I had to pay for my brother's funeral also. So it kind of took a toll on me financial wise. And for a while I was just depressed. That's what happened with the first violation. When I lost my sister and my mom, I kind of didn't want to be here, like a lot was happening. So
So let me ask you this, so, were you living at Haven for Hope, or were you on the street, or what was your situation?
first temporarily I was with Siobhan Sims, which is mother of my kids, which is the one I have this case with. And
Why were you with her? Didn't he have a no contact order?
no, that was prior to now.
It was after the second NTR.
Okay.
I was with her because we had kids together. My daughter was the main reason. My oldest daughter was the main reason I kind of just wanted to be here. She kind of always wanted to be with me, like do everything. Like my youngest daughter always wanted to go Siobhan, and my oldest daughter always wanted to be with me through them times. She wanted to stay with me.
Okay, so let me ask you, in this time that you've been on probation, have you had any kind of employment?
Off and on, because I was working at Hooters for a while. But again, the consecutive passings of each family member kind of took a toll on me, and I just drifted. Mentally I wasn't there for a while, and I started kind of reading the Bible. Start putting.
Does anybody have any Kleenex? Do you need that for your ear?
It's
Oh, okay, yeah, that would be better than
this one.
your finger. All right.
Yeah, so I was.
So you did work, at any point that I know you've been moving around, did you lose your ID or social security card?
Yes, twice actually. Oh, well, right now I'm on my 11th social security card. And I don't know if anybody knows this, but after you're only supposed to have 10 in a lifetime. Right now I'm on my 11th. I just recently got that back like 3 days before I came to jail. The caseworker at Haven for Hope, she gave me got my birth certificate for me. I haven't had that since I was 17. So I was kind of just getting stuff together, because when I first got out in October 2nd, it was hard because I didn't have nothing. Like again, I had to get my ID back. I had to get my social. And while it was being my 11th social security card, I can just order it on my social security like I would usually do. And everything is through appointment. So I had to make an appointment to get my ID, but you have to have one to get the other. And that was like hard, you know. And I finally was able to get the paperwork from the jail, a printout of a photocopy. I don't know what it's called, but I was able to get that, and the ID place took it and gave me my license, which was December like 14th. I went to the appointment and I got my license around January. And then I had to schedule an appointment for Social Security, but they're not taking walk-ins no more. That's an appointment. So I had to wait till February like 18th to go in to get that. And I just received that 3 days before I came to jail. Now was the problem with my employment. I wasn't able to get a job because I was working at a temp agency, which I came to see you in February because it was kind of hard to get myself together because I couldn't get the job. And the only job that I was able to get, GPS didn't want me to do it because it was a temporary job. So I kind of fell off with that, you know, because I was working there. They didn't want me to work over a certain amount of hours. I was trying to get them.
Okay, so let me interrupt you. So you've got your ID, you've got your driver's license, your birth certificate now, right?
Yes, my case manager at Haven has my birth certificate.
Okay,
And they were also willing to help me with an apartment. All I had to do is get a job, a real job, as they call it, not a temp service job, consistently, and bring them 4 checks up. They would have paid my first month's rent because it's a program that they have. And, I never got that opportunity because I was arrested as soon as I got all my, you know.
okay. And so in this time that you've been on probation, some 5 years, have you been rearrested?
Yes.
You've been picked up new cases?
You know, I haven't picked up no new cases. I've just been struggling to get on my feet. Every time I start to get like kind of the ball rolling, I always come to jail. And I lose everything again. I don't have nowhere to put it. You know what I mean? I leave it with certain people. It's not there when I come back. I have to consistently start over. And
Okay,
that's where I'm at right now. Right now, I'm at another process of starting over. And again, I finally got everything that I need to be able to work, to go do what I need to do. I'm interested in going to school. Is what I'm trying to go for welding. I was in school going for business management recently, but that was like 2020 after my mom passed. I kind of cut that off too.
let me ask you. The violation is that you haven't been complying with the regulations, the rules pertaining to the GPS. Did you visit your kids?
I wasn't able to often, but my daughters, especially my oldest daughter, we have like a tight bond. So if I don't go like a long time without seeing her,
Okay, so his question was, were you visiting your children? That's the question.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, and the kids are in the custody of Siobhan?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
And you know that after the second MTR, they said no contact with
Right.
Siobhan Sims. Right?
Yes, sir.
Did you talk to her about visitation?
Yes. She had called me while I was standing in Neighbor for Hope. She called me twice, and I didn't answer because of the no contact order. But she texted me and she told me my daughter wanted to speak with me. And I told her to have her call me, and they video called me, and she was crying. She said she wanted to see me. I haven't seen her in a month. So that's how we set up the arrangement for me to meet with them at the park. And I played with them at the park for about an hour and a half. And I left, and that's how I picked up the violation number 29.
Okay, and do you want to stay on probation?
Yes, I do need the help because I'm struggling by myself. Miserable. It's hard. And I really, it's been times I don't know where to go. You know, and I do have somebody that's kind of like willing to support me. It's a friend of mine, um, possibly girlfriend, just to be honest. And she's
Well, to be honest, here's the thing. This is what the problem is. He's been on probation for 5 years. He hasn't done anything. The only thing you keep doing is you keep picking up more violations and you haven't learned anything. Now you're saying, I have somebody to support me. That's the problem. You're supposed to be supporting yourself. You're hanging your star to this person to support you. If something were to happen to them, or if they were to break up with you, we'd be right back here on another day with you telling me that you've lost your relatives, which I'm sorry to hear about that. But you were here before saying the same thing. And now you're back again saying the same thing. And now you have somebody else that you're going to be with hanging your star to her. And I think everybody deserves a chance. I know there is love out there in the world, but you got to ask yourself what is going on in her life that she's decided to hang her star on a person who has no job, who has no home, who has a criminal case pending, and is not taking care of his business. So that relationship, I can tell you, that relationship is not going to work out because at some point in time, she's going to get tired of having to lift and carry you on her back. She's going to want you to carry her once in a while, and you can't do it. You can't do it financially because you don't have a job. You can't provide her a home because you don't have one. And as you said it, you're probably going to need another social security card because the jail is probably going to lose it. So you haven't done anything. In 5 years, why have you not completed parenting classes in 5 years?
it's $25 a week.
All right. So in 5 years, why have you not had a job? How are you supporting yourself? Were you living off your mom, living off your dad,
No, ma'am.
living off of relatives?
I was working at Hooters prior to my mom. I actually had a savings account and everything.
So
But
why haven't you paid $25 for parenting classes?
that was prior to me even being on probation. My mom passed in 2020. And my sister passed before that. And the funeral, my mom don't even have a headstone for her.
No, I understand that.
It cost a lot of money, and I never knew how much it cost. I didn't know, I was just.
But here's the thing, you haven't done anything on probation, nothing. None of the requirements I've set for you, you have done. You have done nothing. Now, with regards to the marijuana, I know you're testing positive for that and you have a prescription. So that's the only thing you've been able to do. You got a prescription for marijuana, but you haven't done parenting classes. You've done nothing. And you haven't done your BIP class. You haven't done anything.
That's $25.
Here's the thing. You're using the fact that you don't have money for anything, not to do anything. And if you were to come into this courtroom and say, Judge, I haven't done the parenting classes or the BIP class because I don't have any money. If that were the allegations in the motion, I would be like, okay, you know what? He hasn't violated his probation at all. He just hasn't been able to do that because of funding. But that's not the case with you. You have done nothing.
Everything that I haven't done is because of funding is what I don't have.
No, you violated your probation 3 times. All you had to do was not violate your probation. You haven't done anything. And there's nothing that can be said today that will make me think that you're going to do anything when you're released, because every time you come before me once, another judge, another time, and every time you come before me, you have all these plans and you always have somebody. I found somebody who's going to help me out with this now. You're not taking any responsibility for anything. And how old are you?
I'm 32.
You're 32. You're going through life thinking that somebody else is supposed to be responsible for you, and they're not. Everybody gets hit with problems. I know funerals are expensive. That's why I decided I wanted to be cremated, and everybody else is saying, I want to be cremated. And you know what they've started doing? Raising the price on cremation. I remember you could get cremated for $2,000. Now it's up to 10. So I understand. Who knows? Maybe I'm just going to die in my house and have somebody let cats come in my house and eat me. I don't know. But what I'm trying to express to you is it is not anybody else's duty to take in an adult male and support them. You're not even supporting your children financially.
Right.
That's another violation of probation. So in the 5 years that you have been on probation, you haven't even supported your children because you don't have a steady job.
No.
But here we are, we're going out procreating and we don't have our lives together. I just don't think probation is appropriate for you. And there's nothing else that I can do for you anymore. I tried my best. I told you to pick up the phone, call probation when you need something, come into the court if you need something, and you have done neither. The only thing you've done is violate your probation, and you violated it 3 times, and you've been extended, and extending you doesn't help. You should have been done with this probation, off with this probation, because you've been on this probation for 5 years and have done nothing.
Ms. Ford, can I speak one more time?
Sure.
I just got, like I said, I just got my social security card. I wasn't able, I came to you in February.
Here's the thing, when you were placed on probation and you got your first motion to revoke, you had just got your social security card and you're telling me you're getting your life together. And 5 years, you knew nothing.
And yes, ma'am, and it was my fault because I kind of put, like you said, I kind of depend on other people too much in this, like right now. I depend on a lot of people instead of trying to get things done myself, but I do try to get stuff done, Ms. Boyd. There's been many times that I've been searching for jobs and it just told me no, and I did have an opportunity for a job right before at Denny's. I know it doesn't quite mean anything, but I got my income tax, on my car. I haven't even touched
Here's the
it.
thing, I don't even understand how people are getting an income tax refund and they don't have employment.
I was working last year partially for it.
All right, and you didn't pay $25 to do parenting. This is what the court is going to do. 29 is true. The court is going to grant the motion, revoke you. Find you guilty, revoke, give you credit for any time served. Does anybody want to speak with regards to time?
Judge, we would just ask for the minimum. All of these have been technical violations. He just can't get his life together. He's not out, holding up a Valero gas station, anything like that. So I think that based on that, the minimum would be appropriate.
And state, what are you requesting?
I'll defer to the court, Your Honor.
All right, the court will sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, and the court will request the therapeutic community. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal, oh, and I'm sorry, there's an affirmative finding of family violence. You have a right to appeal, and that right to appeal is a limited right to appeal. It relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you're on deferred adjudication. Because this is a felony conviction and an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, can I ask one more question?
Sure.
So I do have 390 days or 300 and something days. Is that accounted for as 2-for-1?
Anytime that no.
No.
So here's the thing, this is a misunderstanding that people have. The court is not in charge of whether you get 2-for-1 or day for day. That has to do with whatever facility you are at and whether or not they decide to give you credit for that. What I can tell you is I sentence you to 3 years. You will do no more than 3 years. All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you, Your
welcome.
Honor.
All right, who's here on Juan Ortiz? Court is calling 2025 CR 0036668, 2025 CR 0036667, State versus Juan Ortiz. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Megan Galway for the state.
Arnulfo Ortiz for Juan Ortiz.
And are you Juan Ortiz?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
We did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Ortiz, did you review the true bill of indictment And each of these cause numbers with your attorney, did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We waive.
State, are you proceeding on the indictments as presented in the cause number ending in 6-8?
Cause number 6-8, Your Honor, we are proceeding on count 1 and waiving count 2.
Any objection?
No objection.
And the cause number ending in 6-7, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Judge, and the cause number ending in 6-7, we are proceeding on count 2 and waiving count 1.
No objection.
And then judge, just we're waiting the repeater enhancement on it as well.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Ortiz, did you review the documents entitled admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the cause number ending in 6-8, the state is proceeding on count 1, which is possession with intent to deliver. Penalty group 1, 4 to 200 grams. The range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to $10,000 fine. In the cause ending in 6-7, the state is proceeding on count 2, which is a possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1B. Uh, 400 grams or more as a first-degree felony. The range of punishment for that offense is anywhere from 10 years to 99 years or life in prison and up to $100,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering these pleas, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into plea bargain agreements in each of these cause numbers?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, in each of the cause numbers, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Ortiz, in each of the cause numbers, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No contest.
No. Has anyone threatened you or
No.
placed you in fear or coerced you to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page in each of the cause numbers?
Honor.
And the cause number ending in 6-8, the state is proceeding on count 1. And in the cause number ending in 6-7, the state is proceeding on count 2. They're asking that your punishment be assessed at 14 years in the prison. There's a $5,000 fine. There's no applications. The causes will run concurrently, and the state will take in consideration 2025 CR 000621. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No.
Then, and the cause number ending in 6-8 to count 1, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
And the cause ending in 6-7 to count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea.
State offers states 1 and attachments in each cause.
No objection.
Any state you may be excused? I'm sorry, the dismissal.
I have to fill it.
Okay, thank you. And each cause number, did you review the documents entitled admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same.
Yes, Your Honor.
In each cause number, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes.
We are.
That's anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
We'd ask the court to follow the plea agreement, but Mr. Ortiz has a large family and a loving family. They want him back as soon as possible.
All right. And cause number ending in 6-8. The court will follow your agreement, sentence you to 14 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's a $5,000 fine concurrent with 2025 CR 003667. Taking consideration 2025 CR 000621. And there's to be no residing with minors. And cause number ending in 6-7. As previously stated, the court is finding you guilty. The court is going to sentence you to 14 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. There's a $5,000 fine. This will run concurrent with 2025 CR 003668. Taking consideration 2025 CR 000621. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification? Also no residing with minors. Did you review the documents entitled Trial Court Certification with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because these are plea bargain agreements, because I followed your plea bargain agreements, because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because these are felony convictions, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Let me ask you something. Do you have any children?
I do, Your Honor.
What are their ages?
All of them. One's 26, the other one's 25. I have an 18, a 17, and a 16.
And a 16-year-old. So,
Two grandkids.
and two grandchildren, what are their ages?
One is 5 and the other one's gonna be 2.
Okay, well, let me ask you something. So these drugs, methamphetamine and heroin, how would you feel if somebody in the chain of selling drugs, hey, I'm just doing this to make some extra money. How would you feel if they ended up with your grandchildren or your children at a party and introduced that drug to them?
I would not feel
Mhm.
good at all.
So what you were doing that could have easily ended up being filtered down to your grandchildren or your children. This whole fast money thing that people are so apt to do, you cannot build your happiness off somebody else's misery. And I guarantee you, if you made any money from this, you probably don't even remember where it went because it wasn't earned correctly. Do you understand?
I understand.
So when you're sitting at the prison, you need to think about your children and your grandchildren and what kind of world you want them to have. And do you want this to be the world? And I read the police report where there are all these drugs in a house and there's a 12-year-old in there. And people are saying they love their children. No, you don't. Because if you did, there would not be a 12-year-old when you have all these drugs in the house and they could have easily got into those drugs. And I'm sure those drugs stink to high heaven. You understand?
I understand.
You're gonna have to do better. All right, good luck to you. Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you, Your Honor. Everybody changes. I remember the first year you became an attorney. I don't know where I live. I don't know my address, but I remember you the first year you became. But you know, everybody changes. You're one tough person. As you're currently constituted.
No,
No,
still same old nice me.
I'm gonna see what you're gonna be like in 10 years.
In 10 years, you're gonna find me and you're gonna say, Stephanie, how do you have these flies coming out of your arms? You told me you were never going to the Amazon.
Take care of it while you can, Your Honor.
Oh, this is for you and your client.
I recommend Alaska, not on a boat,
Mhm.
but to fly there and rent a car in the summer and time it for the salmon run.
Okay.
I recommend that.
And then I'm gonna end up getting eaten by a polar bear. Okay.
The brown bear, Kelly, the brown bear.
Yeah, the brown bears, because I'm in the middle. Oh, that's right. Alaska, it is the brown bear, not the polar bear. All right, everyone, we're starting up our jury trial at 10:30, so you all need to make things happen over there. Otherwise, you're gonna come back in the afternoon. All right, thank you. All right, State, for some reason, this dismissal is not coming up. Is there a zero missing, maybe? Let me see.
It should be 2025 CR 000621.
All right, there's a zero that's missing. So I'll just add it.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that.
Thank you. So has that defendant been sent back yet? Ortiz. All right, can you let them know that he needs to have a zero added to that dismissal?
He has it.
Okay. Oh, well,
Mr. Ortiz.
and then Raphael, are you ready on your case?
Yes.
All right, and we'll need an interpreter.
Yes, it's in order.
All right, thank you. All right, where's Paul and Kimbra?
You said the 290 judge, I just called the coordinator, so you should have him step over here.
Okay. Mr. Leal, are there any applications in your case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Will you be needing a PSI?
I believe so, Judge.
Or do you all want to, if you do a PSI, it's going to be 8 weeks. If y'all just want to reset to bring in witnesses, and I'll have the state, let me know your client's criminal history. And you can have whatever witnesses you want in, otherwise it will be 8 weeks.
I do that. It's doable. Sorry.
No problem.
No.
All right, thank you. And everyone, just give me 5 minutes.
Judge, we'll do the reset, Judge, or just to bring some
Witnesses.
witnesses and.
Right, so if you get with Ms. Ferguson on what date works for you to have your witnesses here, we'll just do it on that day. And I will be right back.
That is, yeah, just a hearing to. When she's, when is it your?
I'll be off Monday just for you.
Okay, let me see. Cuidado, y solo, profesor.
It's so sad.
His guy, whatever, I just want to see. Last page, I don't see.
So I have A and I go on B.
I was trying to. I guess.
Oh, whatever.
Marketing. If you're a bad driver, come and see me. Outstanding videos. You were the one that was trying to raise me. Están accused of that. Okay, so, so there's 3. Can do the 35. I didn't bring it up. I can do June 13th. Or looking at that or 2 weeks. So driving. You don't do that on Friday?
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, that's. Or June the 12th. Okay. Yeah, I get it. Good. They come at the same days. Right.
Are you ready?
Yes, we're ready on this, yeah.
Are we just going?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll put this up here.
Yeah. Tell me. I'll get it for you. Right now? Right. Okay. I don't know.
Confirm with the prosecutor and, any more time,
Well, I'll put it up there. I can't.
Yeah.
He has to be pending info ones. So he decided, he just got one, yes. Okay.
Already?
We have some that are ready to go.
Okay.
Like the NTR, one piece that. Please don't discuss.
All right, thank you.
Which.
Fabian Rodriguez. Court is, oh. It's okay. Cindy, I'm gonna work out something where I can actually see you over there.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, court is calling 2022 CR 7965 State versus Fabian Rodriguez. Can I have parties announced for the state?
Jason, do you have the state on?
Defend-
Leal for Mr. Rodriguez, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, I don't have a trial court certification on this.
Judge, I confer with the prosecution and, they are requesting a, reset. Because there is some felony spending and, we would like to have this matter like wrapped up all, with the case pending plus this MTR.
Sorry, Judge.
No problem.
Yeah, so on this one, I did look at it. The defendant has two new number ones that are alleged, and one of them is a felony that just occurred on April 24th of 24. It's unindicted currently. I did look at it, and we do have some discovery, but we are missing quite a bit of discovery, and so I've reached out to the intake prosecutor so that we could confer before the next setting and try to get a global offer to resolve all of the cases.
Okay, and that alleged offense, that's not a drug case, is it?
No, it's a collision cause of injury.
Okay. All right. Ms. Ferguson. What date did you give him for his sentencing on this client?
I believe June 13.
All right. State, well, you needed extend.
Oh, 12. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
All right, state, do you need this case extended past that?
I can't say for sure, Judge, but I believe that should be sufficient. I've reached out to the intake prosecutor already, and they'll reach out to the agency.
All right, since you're already gonna be here, we'll set it for the 12th, and then if the state needs some more time and there are no objections, then we can always reset it.
All
All right, so that will be June 12th, 2025. All right, thank you. Ms. Abrams, he's being reset for June 12th. And Norma, if you can make sure Mr. Leal is on the new cases as well. All right, thank you. Who's here on Christian Spiller?
We're ready on.
All right, thank you. Court is calling 2017 CR 13755 State versus Christian Spiller. Can I have parties announced?
Jason Gary here for the state.
Nipa Gallegos Carrillo for Mr. Speller.
And are you Mr. Spiller?
Yes, sir.
All right. Did you review the motion to revoke community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Are you the same Christian Spiller who's placed on community supervision in 2017 CR 13755 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 2, 4,200 grams on September 27, 2019 for a term of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes,
All right, state.
Judge, on the supplemental.
Oh, I'm sorry, did you review the supplemental with your attorney? Did you understand it?
yes, I did.
All right, you may proceed.
Thanks. Violated. Violated.
Are you okay?
Yes, sorry.
Mhm.
Violated condition number 5, in Bear County, Texas, the defendant, Christian Spiller, then and there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of November, December of 2020, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December of 2021, and January, February, March, April, May, June, July, and August of 2022, violation condition number 5.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
Sure.
And Your Honor, will waive the remaining violated conditions.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 4 years in the prison?
Yes.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5? Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there proposed agreement?
Yes, there is, Your Honor.
And what is that?
It is to revoke the individual office probation and reform the underlying sentence of 4 years to 2 years in the Texas Department of Correction.
Are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, sir.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes.
Court will follow your agreement. The court will revoke, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, and there's to be no residing with minors. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, I did.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, then you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
I do.
All right, we can go off the record. I'm going to request therapeutic community for you. It's to help you with any drug issues you may have. You understand?
I do.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Judge Member,
Yes.
on Mr. Rodriguez, Judge, the case that was before you, this morning, it's an MTR and he's remanded with a bond, and, we're asking that the court set a bond on that case.
All right, just give me a second. Let me finish this up and I'll take that up.
Was it police copy? Was there involvement?
Yes, and,
What's that case?
no, no, what are you looking for?
All right. Are the parties ready on Hernandez? Are y'all ready on Hernandez? Come forward.
Yes, sir.
And if we can have your client come down? Hello, it's good seeing you. All right, the court is calling 2025 CR 001-801B and 2025 CR 001-802A. State versus Early Yusuf Ramirez Hernandez. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Andrew Harris, Tatum, for the state.
Rafael Leal for Mr. Ramirez Hernandez.
I have before me an interpreter. If you can raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Ramirez Hernandez?
Yes,
Counsel, do you speak Spanish fluently?
Yes, sir.
And were you able to communicate with your client in Spanish and go over these documents with him?
I have your.
Mr. Hernandez, all of the documents I'm going to review with you in English, were those documents explained to you in Spanish?
yes,
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, sir.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Hernandez, did you review the application for deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
yes,
Did you review the true bill of indictments with your attorney? Did you understand it?
yes,
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, sir.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, sir.
Did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
yes,
Did you understand in each cause number you're charged with aggravated robbery as a first-degree felony? Range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
yes,
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in each of these cause numbers?
yes,
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, sir.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does, Judge.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe so, Judge.
Mr. Hernandez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
no,
Anyone promise you anything other than the plea?
no,
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
yes,
Are you a U.S. citizen?
no,
Counsel, did you discuss with your client or have an attorney speak with your client about the impact this plea will have on his immigration status?
I have your.
Mr. Hernandez, do you understand by entering a plea into this case, you will be deported and not allowed re-entry into the United States?
yes,
Do you understand that you will also be denied naturalization?
yes,
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
yes,
According to the plea, the state is asking that your punishment be assessed at a cap of 12 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. The state is silent on your application for deferred adjudication. The cases will run concurrently. The state will take in consideration 2025 CR 001800B, 1830, and 2024 CC 742954. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Did you also understand if the court finds that a weapon were used, that the court will order an affirmative finding of deadly weapon? Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, sir.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then, and cause number ending in 1B, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Off the record, Deputy Laura, can you let me know if all the jurors are here? Back on the record, and cause number ending in 2A, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's pleas.
Each case contained in exhibit 1 and attached to judge.
No objection.
State, you may be excused. Did you review the stipulations in each of these cause numbers with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right. All right, in each cause number, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. We will come back on June 12th. At that time, the court will make a decision on your applications. And counsel, it's the court's understanding that you are waiving PSI and you're just asking for a chance to bring witnesses in for sentencing?
That's correct.
All right, so PSI and TAP evaluation is waived. We'll come back on June 12th.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Do you need me to sign anything?
Actually, yes, I just need to fill it out.
Okay, sure. Hi, and so who's your guy with the bond?
Rodriguez, Fabian Ray Rodriguez.
See Fabian Rodriguez. And then Deputy Norma, Deputy Laura. The rest, if you can put them back and we'll take them at a break. All right, Fabian Rodriguez. And was there an agreement on the bond amount?
No,
Have you had a chance to confer with them?
yes, I did confer with Mr. Garrahan,
All right, and y'all didn't come to.
and he mentioned he normally asks for twice the amount initially. So the initial bond was 10,000.
All right, so if you can come back when we have a break, are you gonna be around the courthouse?
Probably, and to go to other.
All right, so if you could come back during the break and we'll take it up, that'll give the state a chance to review things.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
1 second, but.
All right, thank you. For what case? All right, Navarro. Navarro, come down.
Thank
Hello. You're welcome. And Deputy Laura, you can line them up whenever you all are ready. All right, where are we? Oh, yes.
So much.
Oh, no, I apologize. Oh, no. We are women, we multitask.
Thank you, Judge. Good to see you. Yes.
All right, where are we on Discovery Council?
There are some outstanding videos that I need to bring a flash drive on Monday. I didn't bring it today, but I will bring it Monday. And then they need to provide them with those. This was on yesterday's docket. I had no notice, nothing on Odyssey, so I didn't review it,
problem.
so.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if you'll put this for the fourth week in June, and it'll be for a Discovery update.
Thank you.
Welcome. All right,
Yeah. Thursday.
all right, June 26th, we'll see you back then, all right? Do you have any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who's here on Cummings?
Actually, she just stepped out, she's checking on something.
All right, so what are we doing here? Mr. Cummings, come down.
Well, we had agreed to plead true on a couple of violations, but they're trying to decide whether they're okay with that or not.
All right, are you able to come back during one of our breaks, or are you in trial somewhere?
I'm not in trial, Judge. We picked yesterday, but we're starting trial Monday, so.
All right, if you could come back during one of our breaks and Norma can text you.
Okay.
And if you all are entering a plea, if you would have your client fill out the trial court certification. And then if you want, you can appear by Zoom.
Okay, well, and it may be Victoria coming back. We'll figure it out.
Okay, awesome.
So
All
the
right,
next
so-
break time I can be till lunch, though, right, Judge?
Probably at 1:30. Yeah. But if you hang around, we may have a break during this and they can put him in the holdover in the back.
I'll hang around for a while.
All right, thank you. All right, so Deputy Laura, whenever you all get a chance, they can put in the holdover.
Judge, and Albert chided in a contested MTR, do you still want us to hold his last client?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure.
Oh, no problem.
Oops. Oops, I'm so sorry. Yes, Fabian, yeah.
Go back for a break. Go downstairs. We don't want to go downstairs. We don't take everybody downstairs. Oh, my name is Cam. I was like, other doors are closed.
And state, if you could, bring out your witness.
Yeah. No.
Hi, all right, how are you doing this morning?
Yeah. There was one down here.
Hey, Judge.
I think I took it upstairs.
Is there a way I can hug my mom?
Oh, what?
Is there a way I can hug my mom?
No, and I'm not in charge of security, deputies are, so you have anything to do with security or interaction with people in the audience. You have to speak to the deputies about it, because they're in charge. of security. I'm a firm believer in staying in my lane. Sure.
Judge,
Yes.
before we get started, defense counsel would like to review this exhibit to make sure that the redaction is correct. I need to get a disc reader to do that.
I didn't ask Rose. I'll just ask Rose. Not doing this now. I don't understand. I can ask Rose to bring it or something.
Okay.
He's not next, right?
Unless we have help.
Here. See, I tried to help a little bit.
Thank you, Judge.
Because if you don't. Beginning of Robles' body worn camera recording up to the point where Ramirez reads the statutory links to.
I don't think NC did. I think the one thing NC needed is the
Huh?
I didn't know that at the time. I asked for the redactions and in an abundance of caution, it seemed to me just mute everything except for the portion where Ramirez reads the statutory limits. Should have gone over that with me before.
Yes, he's Russian will do that.
I know.
Say it, but like not do that. Like say the statement from, because you're only saying the statement.
Playing the statement, but also the point where Rome must find for that.
Okay, that's fine. So then can you make sure that you only play the statement that's admissible? And then the part you want to play, and then later on, we'll go ahead and bring before the evidence goes back to the jury, we can fix it.
Sure.
I don't always put it on.
Oh.
Get her to put it on.
Thank you, Judge. Did you silence this mic? One says, you're gonna play.
I think I turned it off.
Okay.
Do you hear feedback?
I don't.
Okay. Yay.
Oh, okay.
You did it correctly.
I requested a, yes, thank you. Yesterday,
Trial, so that's why I was saying maybe you just do the original one during the trial. And then when it goes back with the jury, we'll take that part out. But we
okay, I have a copy of Robles's unredacted
will-
body worn camera recording. And we can play that for the jury, but I don't understand is how we're going to admit it as evidence, play it for the jury, but then not send it back.
We'll have to swap it, like, that's the thing, we'll have to swap it with like the actual.
But the point is, you can't publish it to the jury until it's admitted as an exhibit, because he found the,
No, when,
oh, now or imminently.
we have an unredacted version, right? Of Robles? Yeah. Yes. Do you know how to redact muted points? I'm ready. I'm gonna try right now. Okay. On ours, we can redact this time frame. Yeah, I have it written down. See, well, no, not what she said, but it's 116:15 to 117. Okay, yeah. And if you can do that, like as quick as possible. Okay, thank you. Did you want the witness up on the stand?
Yes, please.
Okay, sorry, he works nights and he just had trouble with the.
Oh, no problem.
I need Allison's. You can sit please.
Hi. Good morning.
During the work trial. And then. This is a mic, if you could just pin it on your shirt and then just speaking to the mic. What's your first other?
Lawrence.
I know during this special meeting. Okay. Adjust the mic. You could adjust the mic to your level so you won't feel.
All right, we are on the record in 2025 CR 000700 and 2025 CR 000701. State versus Felipe Reyes. Can I have parties announced?
Andrew Harris Edelman and Megan Galloway for the state.
Pauline Portillo and Peyton Howe for Mr. Felipe Reyes.
And are you Mr. Reyes?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I've been informed that the jurors are here, so we're gonna bring the jurors in.
All right, for the jury.
All right, everyone, please be seated. State, call your next witness.
State calls Marie Sellis.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record, and be sure to keep your voice up so that members of the jury can hear.
Maurice Ellis.
State, you may proceed.
Mr. Ellis, how are you currently employed?
With the city of San Antonio,
In what capacity?
police officer.
How long have you been a police officer with the San Antonio Police Department?
About 7 years.
And are you a certified peace officer?
Yes.
And what unit are you assigned to?
The DWI task force.
On October 27th, 2024, what was your assignment?
The helicopter detail.
Do you fly a helicopter?
I'm a tactical flight officer, so I'm not flying a helicopter. I'm performing the other duties.
So you're in the helicopter when it flies?
Yes.
And on October 27th, 2024, at approximately 7 p.m., were you on duty?
Yes.
And were you involved in an investigation at that time?
Yes.
What investigation was that?
We got requested by detectives from our covert unit to assist them with air support while they were going to attempt a traffic stop for the vehicle.
What does assistance with air support entail?
So if they want helicopter or air support or a traffic stop or for any other functions, they may be performing, they'll request us ahead of time so that we can get in the area to provide assistance from the air so that they can have additional resources provided to them when they're doing their duties.
What sort of assistance do you provide?
Following vehicles, vehicles after they flee from traffic stops, following individuals when they flee from the vehicles. Sometimes we'll provide surveillance just to record certain activities that they would like for us to record. Those are the main functions.
And were those your functions on that date and at that time?
Yes.
Were you instructed to focus on any particular area or vehicle?
Objection calls for hearsay.
That will be sustained.
Did you focus on a particular area or vehicle?
Yes.
Which area or vehicle did you focus on?
We were requested to the area of Couples Road and Castroville Road, which I think is the west side of San Antonio, if I recall correctly. And they had given us a specific vehicle that they wanted us to look for in that area. They were also behind the vehicle.
Objection to hearsay.
That will be sustained unless you have personal knowledge.
Did you observe a vehicle in that area being followed by SAPD patrol vehicles?
Not SAP patrol vehicles, they were in unmarked vehicles, but then eventually patrol vehicles that are marked doing the traffic stop.
What vehicle did you observe?
I believe it was a white SUV.
And what did you observe it doing?
The covert detectives were following the vehicle. SAP patrol units got behind the vehicle as well. They tried to initiate a traffic stop, but they were cut off by another vehicle that was following the suspect vehicle. The officers initiated a traffic stop, the vehicle began to flee and then eventually crashed into a house.
What visual recording equipment does the helicopter have?
It's equipped with a camera system. That camera system allows us in the helicopter, that allows us to provide the streets, the location, addresses that certain vehicles or persons are at, or detectives can focus on. It has a map overlay so that I can relay that information to the officers and the detectives.
And are you able to observe all of that information from a display or terminal?
Yes, there's a screen in the helicopter that allows us to see the streets, see the vehicles. At nighttime, it provides different resources for us to identify specific vehicles or persons, so that we can relay that information to officers and detectives on the ground.
May I approach the witness, Judge?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm handing you what is marked States Exhibit 3. Do you recognize that object?
Yes,
What is it?
that's the recording of that incident from that night. From the
And,
helicopter.
and have you watched this recording?
Yes,
Was this recording prepared on a device capable of making an accurate recording?
yes,
And was the operator competent to operate the device?
yes,
Is the recording that you viewed an accurate copy of the events that you observed?
yes,
Do the images of the event contained in the recording fairly and accurately reflect the event shown in the recording?
yes,
Has the recording been altered to your knowledge?
no,
Would you be able to identify all of the voices in the recording?
yes.
And when was the recording made?
Well, when you say all of the voices, I can for sure identify mine, and I could identify if there's other officers talking.
Understood. When was the recording made?
The night of the incident.
That was October 27, 2024.
Yes.
Tendering to defense counsel for inspection.
Objection.
All right, State's Exhibit number 3 is admitted without objection.
Permission to publish.
Granted.
Sorry, it's just loading on the computer.
Oh, no problem.
Now, Ellis, why is the camera moving in the way that it does?
So the camera's position is moving right now because I'm moving the camera. But right now I'm waiting for where it says IR cooling. That means I'm waiting for the camera has to cool down to a certain temperature before I can use it to function the way that I need to complete the tasks that we're doing.
And what function did you need at that time?
So I needed it to be switched to, since it's nighttime, there's a function in the camera that we can switch it to be able to detect heat sources and be able to follow vehicles better at nighttime than we can with the daytime camera.
And that's called infrared.
Yes,
And that's what the IR stands for.
yes.
Now, at this point in the recording, do you know what or who it is that you're looking for?
I can't recall if they told us ahead of time before we left the hangar, or if they told us once we were in the air. But, we haven't got to the area yet that we're, gonna be focused on.
Now, what image do we see?
So the infrared system is now working, so I switched the camera from daytime to the infrared system to be used at night.
And you just zoomed in on a specific area. Why did the camera zoom in on that area?
So when the infrared system starts to work, I'll zoom in on a vehicle that's typically gives off that bright heat source signature. And what I'm doing is I'm calibrating the camera. So you'll see the screen kind of get dark, fade in, fade out. And what I'm doing is I'm calibrating the camera to the best view that I can get to be able to follow vehicles or persons based on the heat source.
So this portion here is not part of the surveillance that you were conducting at that time until you get to about this point?
Correct.
And why are you focusing on this area?
Well, at this time, more than like, I see there's audio, but I can't hear it right now. I'm not sure why it's not working, but they've given us a specific location that they're at, and I'm trying to find that location.
Now, why did the camera zoom in at that point?
And then I was trying to confirm the vehicle, if that was the one that we were looking for, that the detective followed.
Why did you switch views?
Because in the infrared system, you can't confirm the color of the vehicle. So I'll quickly switch to the daylight camera, zoom in on it and confirm if that's the vehicle description and color that we're looking for.
Why does the camera zoom in and out periodically?
Just so I can have an overall view of the area to determine if there's other vehicles that might be following with the suspect and the detectives. Just so I can provide them the most information on the ground for tactics.
And at this point, were you relaying information to the officers and detectives on the ground?
Yes.
Did you believe that this was the vehicle that you sought?
Yes.
Why?
Based on the descriptors and the information that they had given me for the mission.
Understood. Now, at this point, can you distinguish any unmarked vehicles following the target vehicle?
I believe so, but I can't recall 100% what vehicles they were in.
Did you have knowledge beforehand what vehicles would be unmarked patrol vehicles?
I can't recall. I'm pretty sure I was told at some point, but I don't know if it was before we launched or while we were in the air.
Now, in this infrared setting, would you be able to observe a patrol vehicle's emergency overhead lights?
Not in this setting, I'd have to be in the daytime to be able to see. Typically, what we can do with patrol vehicles have like specific identifiers with the light marks that will stand out in this system.
Now, at this point, what do you see?
The vehicle turned in properly onto the access road there, and we can take off at higher speed.
What other vehicles are approaching the area?
Well, the covert detectives, and more patrol vehicles.
At this point, are you able to see people exiting the target vehicle?
In a second, you'll see a heat source moving from the back where the vehicle crashed out towards that alleyway, and those are the people from the vehicle.
Do you see one now?
Yes,
And how many total do you see?
saw 2 total.
And why does the camera shift view periodically?
There was another vehicle following the target vehicle that came back to the scene. So I'm looking at that and then just trying to get that overall picture, not just focusing on one point.
Who are these people approaching the area?
Those are officers.
And do you see a person approaching the officers?
Yes,
Does that person lay down on the ground?
yes,
Is he then taken into custody?
yes.
Now, while you observed the vehicle, did you observe anything be ejected from its interior?
Oh, yes.
If we rewind the video, would you be able to point out where you observed that?
Yes.
And let us know to what point.
If it helps, it wasn't until after he was on the access road and started speeding on.
That is a bit helpful. Thank you. Please let us know when you make the observation.
Oh, no. So it was tossed onto the sidewalk out of the passenger side of the vehicle.
From your perspective, were you able to see who tossed it out of the vehicle?
And I don't know who tossed it, I just know it came from the vehicle.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Defense, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, Officer Ellis, you said that you personally observed something being ejected from the vehicle.
Yes,
Did you include that in your report?
no, I did not.
You think that would have been something important to include in your report?
Yes, I noticed it at the time.
Okay, and so when you say that there were people coming from the vehicle, you said you saw 2, right?
Yes,
But you only saw one heading towards the alley, is that correct?
correct.
And you don't know, you said he was on the access road and started speeding off, but you don't know who the driver was, is that correct?
Correct, I don't know who the driver was, I should have said the vehicle started to speed off from the intersection.
Pass the witness.
All right, any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
Is this witness excused?
By the state, yes.
Is the witness excused?
Yeah, I think so, Your Honor.
No,
Can
I
excuse
mean,
him.
are they?
We can excuse him.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
State, call your next witness.
Oh, can you put
State
them?
calls Matthew Robles. Oh, Ellis left the microphone.
Yes.
Excellent.
You can adjust the microphone, just so the chairs can.
All right, if you can raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record. Be sure to speak loudly so that the jurors can hear.
Hello, my name is Detective Robles. I've been with SAPD for about 15 years. And I'm a detective currently assigned to the Colbert Unit.
Your Honor, may I proceed?
Yes.
Thank you. Detective, what is the covert unit?
The Covert Unit is, it's a team of detectives that are assigned tasks as narcotics, fugitive apprehension, a little bit of the vice detail. We're now, that's part of our purview to do bar inspections and different vice things. It's a combination of different things.
How long have you been assigned to the covert unit?
About 5 years.
And before that, what were your assignments?
I was a evidence detective and then a patrol officer for 11 years.
So you're a certified peace officer?
Yes.
On October 27th, 2024, what was your assignment?
I was with the Covert Unit.
And were you involved in an investigation on that date?
Yes, sir.
What investigation was that?
I was assisting in a covert operation where they were conducting some surveillance. And if I remember correctly, the information that we received was
Objection of calls for hearsay.
All right. If you could repeat the question, please.
What investigation were you involved in? And please only testify from your personal knowledge.
It was a narcotics investigation.
What other personnel were part of that investigation?
We had some covert units, detectives and patrol. We also had our street crimes unit and Eagle, our Eagle unit, our helicopter unit that was assisting us.
Did this investigation focus on a particular location?
Yes.
Do you remember what that location was?
I don't remember off the top of my head what the location is.
Did you begin surveillance of that location?
Yes, that's initially we started out doing covert surveillance.
And how long did that surveillance last?
It was about, I want to say an hour or two when I first jumped on it, probably a good hour or two before it started to move.
And what did you observe?
A particular vehicle that we were targeting, looking at, it started to depart the location that we were conducting surveillance. And we started doing a rolling surveillance, maintaining what we call maintaining an eye on that specific vehicle. And our job was we were going to try to initiate a stop, a traffic stop.
Before that vehicle left, did you see who entered it?
For me, my role in that, I didn't know the identities of the person at the time.
Understood, but did you see who entered it?
Yes.
Can you describe who those people were?
I saw a female and a Hispanic female and a Hispanic male, heavy set, both of them were heavy set, male and female.
And did you observe either of those people carrying anything into the vehicle?
No, I did not observe that.
Now, what is involved in rolling surveillance?
So essentially our job is to maintain an eye and it's maintaining a visual on that vehicle. without getting into like the trade craft or what have you. Our job is to not be detected while we're following you. If you're gonna have a team of officers that are in plain clothes, in regular cars, we're passing you sometimes, we're passing you off to other officers as you're coming up to an intersection. There might be an officer already there waiting for you. So we're passing you off to different officers, and it's our job to maintain a visual on you throughout the whole process.
Why is it important to maintain visual perception of a target?
Because sometimes when it comes to narcotics investigations, people can hand off packages or duffel bags or backpacks and things like that. And we want to make sure that everything that is accurate for accuracy.
What was the make and model, if you remember, of the vehicle that you began to follow?
I don't remember the make and model of the vehicle.
Do you remember its color?
I think it was a gray, if I remember correctly, gray or silver color.
And do you remember if it was a coupe or a sedan?
I believe it was, I want to say it was like a crossover type, maybe a hatchback or a small SUV.
Understood. How long did you follow this vehicle?
After it departed the initial location, I would say maybe 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes, maybe. Wasn't too long.
And why did you break off surveillance?
They were going to do a traffic stop. Our street crimes unit, they were going to conduct a traffic stop. And so
I'm going to interrupt you.
Sure.
Because I'd like to remind you to only testify to your personal knowledge.
Okay.
So you broke off surveillance. Did anyone else maintain surveillance?
Yes. We had Eagle was maintaining surveillance, and my portion, like I explained earlier, is I was passing that vehicle off to other undercover detectives, and they got the eye. I passed the eye to somebody else. And so what we do is we follow in to be available if someone needs to pass that eye off to me and further, like in following that vehicle.
Did marked patrol units eventually attempt to initiate a detention of the target vehicle?
They initiated a traffic stop, yes.
And how did the vehicle respond?
I personally did not see the way the vehicle responded. I was not in the position to see the traffic stop take place, so I wouldn't be able to tell you like what happened. I only know from after hearing what had happened. So I personally did not observe the initiation of the traffic stop.
Where did your investigation eventually take you?
So again, I got back what we call getting back in the stack. I ended up behind the officers that were trying to initiate that traffic stop. So from my understanding, they had initiated their overhead lights, and I was probably a couple cars behind the stack as it followed the vehicle that they were trying to do a traffic stop on. So from there, it's my understanding, and it was transmitted to me over the radio that the vehicle was.
What's the call for hearsay?
Sustained.
This was not.
Excuse me.
Okay.
The objection has been sustained. That means that you're not allowed to answer that question. You may proceed with your next question.
Thank you, Judge. Where did you eventually end up?
I ended up, after the vehicle wrecked out, I ended up in a field just adjacent to where the address that the vehicle wrecked out in.
How do you know that the vehicle wrecked?
The radio.
Did you see the effects of this collision?
I did. I saw the debris field, and then the dust was still about settling when I pulled up behind it.
Did you observe anyone in the field where you were located?
No, I did not.
So what were you doing in that field?
So when I exited I pulled into a field. I exited to go back to the house, which was within viewing distance, and I could see the debris. I saw a female that was rolled up under a fenced-in area, and then I think the male was somebody may have been out with the male, but I saw the female. I was trying to, make sure that to me, it appeared that she was hurt or injured. So she was laying there on the ground, and I didn't want to just go touch her right off the bat, but I was trying to get her some help.
Were there other officers on the scene?
Yes.
And what did you observe them do?
Take the female into custody. They checked on her, I think they rolled her over and put her in handcuffs, and I think somebody else was out with the male.
Do you see that male in the courtroom today?
Yes,
Can you identify him by an article of clothing?
or he's wearing a black shirt and khaki pants.
Thank you. What did you do next?
So I was still concerned that there may have been others inside the vehicle or trapped inside the vehicle. I was trying to identify if there were others that may have been ejected. And so I think I went over to the defendant and asked if there was how many people were in the car, in which he told me there was only two. And so based on the initial search we did for other occupants of the vehicle, we couldn't find anybody else, so we concluded that there was only two people and that they were out of the vehicle.
How did you proceed?
And then after that, I helped maintain like security, scene security, until I was notified by the very
Called for hearsay.
Sustained.
Please remember to only testify from your personal knowledge. Did you relocate from that scene to another location?
Yes, I did.
What location was that?
Further down, up the road that we had just traveled through, I received a radio transmission that.
Objection, calls for hearsay.
Sustained.
Remember, only from your personal knowledge. So where did you go?
I'm under the impression that that is my personal knowledge, that I received a radio transmission.
All right, so what will end up happening is the state will ask their questions, people will make objections, I will make rulings on them. Ask your next question, please.
When you relocated to that area, what did you find?
A bag.
Can you would you please describe that bag?
It was a backpack. I don't recall the color of it. I think it was maybe a bluish color.
May I approach?
Yes.
I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 4. Do you recognize this?
Yes,
What is it?
it's a copy of my body worn camera.
And have you listened to and watched the recording?
Yes, sir.
Was the recording prepared on a device capable of making an accurate recording of the audio and visual information?
Yes, sir.
Were you the operator of that device?
Yes, I was.
Were you competent to operate that device?
Yes, I am.
Is the recording an accurate copy of the events that you perceived?
Yes, sir.
Do the images of the event contained in the recording fairly and accurately reflect the events shown in the recording?
Yes, sir.
Are there any alterations to this recording?
No, sir.
Would you be able to identify all of the voices on the recording?
Yes, sir.
And when was the recording made?
On the date of the incident. Yeah.
Tendering to defense counsel for inspection?
Any objections?
None, Your Honor.
All right, State's Exhibit number 4 is admitted without objection.
Permission to publish?
Granted.
Detective, what is this area?
This is the frontage road, that leads right before, I want to say it takes a right-hand turn, right before General McMullen on the west, facing west towards General McMullen and Highway 90.
And what is the object that you just approached?
It's a backpack.
Now, at this point, what did you do?
I just stood over it. I wasn't going to collect the evidence. I was going to wait for the person that was designated to collect that evidence. So my job was just to secure it, make sure that it didn't disappear or it wasn't tampered with or destroyed.
And who was assigned to collect the evidence?
Detective Carvajal.
Approximately how long did it take for Detective Carvajal to arrive?
Somewhere between 5 to 10 minutes, maybe.
Who is this person approaching?
That is Detective Carvajal.
And what do you observe him do?
He's taking photos of the evidence.
Is Detective Carvajal also a San Antonio Police Department detective?
Yes, he is.
What is his unit assignment?
He's assigned to the covert response unit.
In what capacity?
He is an investigator.
And now what are you doing with the bag?
So now that it's been documented and photographed, then we collect it and we're just gonna do a quick inventory inspection of it, see what's in there.
Would you briefly describe what it is that you find?
So what I see is large quantities of narcotics and some vacuum sealed marijuana. My training and experience, to me, that looks like that right there, it looks like some fentanyl pills. And some methamphetamine in the white freezer bags, large quantity of that's unusual. That's a lot of meth.
Objection and non-responsive.
That will be overruled.
A glare here.
Would you briefly describe the training and experience that you received that leads you to conclude that these are methamphetamine, marijuana, fentanyl?
So part of the training that I have is we've had classes through the DEA. They'll come out and bring controlled substances so we can observe and manipulate with our hands, and we'll do our training on our field testing kits, and we'll test the narcotics and the different techniques to test them out in the field to give us a presumptive before we send them off to the lab. So the look of them, the texture, the capacity of what we're looking at, we have a very good idea of what we're dealing with at the time. When it comes to some drugs, just touching them, they could be absorbed through your skin. So we have to know it's what we're dealing with, use gloves, not use gloves, or so that's a training based on my training.
From this recording, I see that you were not wearing gloves. Why?
Right, which I regret, because there was fentanyl involved in that, and so I was very fortunate that I didn't succumb to any injury or anything like that.
So was that an unfortunate lapse in your training?
I would say so, yes. I should have used gloves
For your own protection?
for my own protection and everybody else's protection.
From your review of the evidence, did you have any other lapses in your training?
No, just that. I mean, given so, if you can see in the video of my city vehicle there was gloves available to me. It was just a lapse in my judgment, and you know, given this case and
Objection or relevance.
Sustained.
yeah, given.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Thank you. You may proceed.
Now, you mentioned what you believe to be controlled substances. Did you find anything else in the bag?
No, not that I could remember. Oh, yeah, I'm just watching the video. There's some scales that are consistent with narcotics.
Are they consistent with anything else?
They could be used for food or other things, but given the combination of the things that were in the bag, they're used for narcotics, like weighing out the narcotics for sales and distribution.
And that conclusion is based on your training and experience?
Based on my training experience.
So did you measure the mass of the items in these bags?
So in this particular situation, I would not, I'm not the evidence collector. Detective Carbajal is, so he would be the one to weigh those out. And typically he would wait until he got into the property room to get the accurate weights.
Why are you returning the items to the bag?
He's gonna transport them back to the property room.
And are you returning the same items into the bag that you removed from the bag?
Correct.
Now, at this point, do you relocate to the crash scene?
I do.
Now, who are these officers?
That is Detective Carbajal and Detective Ramirez.
And who is the officer sitting in the front seat of the vehicle?
I don't know that particular officer. I've seen her, but I don't recall her name.
And who is the person in the back seat of the vehicle?
The defendant.
Now, what were you doing just there?
So I was trying to ascertain, so as a covert detective, oftentimes we try to what we call flip
Did Detective Ramirez join you?
Yes, he did.
And did Detective Ramirez recite the statutory warnings to Mr. Reyes?
Yes, he did.
Pass the witness.
Defense.
Okay, so Detective Robles. You here. So you got involved in this case. Were you the first covert detective who got involved with this case?
Was I the first? No, I wasn't.
No, do you recall who was?
I do not.
And you said that during your testimony, you were trying to initiate a traffic stop of a target vehicle.
I was not trying to initiate.
Okay, who was?
I don't know who was trying. If I heard the video, I could tell you the voice,
Well-
but I don't know specifically who was trying to initiate the stop. I
But it
didn't know
was,
who the case agent was.
but just right now you testified, we're trying to initiate a traffic stop.
Yes, the team was.
The team was, okay, so
Correct.
that's a goal of y'all, correct?
Yes.
And when you initiate a traffic stop, you need to have reasonable suspicion that a crime is happening, or you need to have a traffic violation. Is that true?
That's correct.
Okay, so what are you following the target vehicle for? You're waiting for them to do a traffic violation, right?
We're not waiting for them to do a traffic violation, but sometimes there's a, call a pretextual stop where we know that if the individual's wanted or there's a reason, they'll essentially, if he does commit a traffic violation, they'll use that for the stop.
Okay, is that pretty common? Is
Yes.
that the reason for the stop here?
Well, the reason for I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't the one that initiated the stop, and I don't know what the stop was initiated specifically on what grounds.
Okay. And you said that you did observe the vehicle when it was parked at the location before it started moving. Is that right?
I could see, yes, I could see where the vehicle was at, and I could see like silhouettes. I couldn't identify who was who or what was what, other than a general description.
Do you recall how many individuals you saw coming out and going to the cars?
Just from what I could see, I didn't see I wasn't the eye, but I could still see. I wasn't paying attention to when they loaded in. From what I saw, I only saw 2 people. So there could have been more, there could have been just what I saw. So I couldn't see everybody. Because I was looking this way when they said there's people moving, I looked and that's what I saw.
Okay, and did you see 2 vehicles or just one?
Just one.
And the one that you saw, you said you saw a Hispanic male, Hispanic female, correct?
Yes.
And it's your testimony that you did not observe anyone carrying anything to the car at that
I
point?
did not see anybody carrying.
And is it that you don't recall, or is it that you for sure you don't recall, you didn't see anything?
I didn't see.
You did, okay. And then you said that when you got to the crash site, that you went to the field that was, I guess, adjacent or behind the house, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you didn't see anybody there.
I didn't see anybody in the field, no.
And so when you went back to the front yard, both the female and the male were there.
It would still be the backyard, but in the yard of that residence. I saw the female, and then if I'm not, I testified that somebody else might have been out with the male, but I did see them walking the male back.
Okay. And you said you saw that you went to the inside of the did you go to the vehicle to try to figure out whether people were in the car? Did that involve looking inside of the vehicle?
Just briefly with my flashlight that I had.
Were you able to see in the back of the vehicle at all?
It was the car was on its side, so I really wasn't gonna climb all over it. It wasn't safe, so I did what I could.
So were you present when when anybody opened and looked at the contents of that vehicle?
I don't believe so.
And let's see, you relocated and found a bag, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And You said through your experience and training, it seemed to be methamphetamine and fentanyl, right?
Could have been fentanyl pills, yes.
Okay. Nobody weighed the pills right there.
No,
Nobody weighed the methamphetamine
no,
based substance there.
no, not that I'm aware.
Okay. And so Carvajal, when he transports it, he's just transporting it by himself.
So I think that he was probably by himself, but I could be wrong. There could have been somebody else assigned with him. I don't know.
And you said where he processes it at is at the substation later on.
We have a property room, so there's different locations, that you can process, property. My guess, based on working with him, is he's gonna go downtown to the property room there at the central substation.
Did you have any decision-making power in the charges that were linked to each person involved in this case?
No, I'm not a case agent. I could have given suggestions, but it's ultimately up to the case agent to determine charges.
And who was that?
Detective Ramirez.
I pass the witness.
Any further questions?
A few. The location where you initially began your surveillance, is that in Bear County?
Yes,
And the location where you found the bag, was that also in Bear County?
yes, sir.
And all the points in between those two areas, were those in Bear County?
Yes, sir.
That's all.
Any other questions?
Just briefly, so your interaction with Felipe, the defendant in this case, was he compliant with you?
Yes,
Is he cooperative?
yes.
Did he give you any type of troubles as far as being difficult or trying to evade or flee from you?
Other than the stop, no. After,
But you weren't present for the stop, you said.
no, I was present behind the stack when, I don't wanna.
Okay,
overstep my-
okay, but he wasn't, it was your understanding that he was not the driver of the car that fled?
I don't know that, so I can't testify that. He was very cooperative.
If he
from
wasn't,
my-
if he
from-
wasn't the driver, then that part, that wouldn't have been considered fleeing because he wasn't the driver, correct?
So he was cooperative.
Pass the witness.
Nothing further.
All right, may this witness be excused?
Subject to recall, Your Honor, please.
All right, just make sure you're available if either party wishes to recall you. Make sure you remove your microphone and you may step down. State, call your next witness.
State calls Detective Carvajal. Judge, may we approach?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you all a brief break. I'll just take that we will, if you all are right, we can take our lunch break. Y'all want to take your lunch break now? No. All right. Did y'all say yes or no? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes, okay. All right, so we'll take our lunch break now, but I'll have you all back at 1:30 and the state will finish calling their witnesses, all right? Remember my previous instructions, you're not allowed to research anything, you're not allowed to start deliberating or thinking about the case internally with yourselves and talking about it with each other. You're only allowed to think about this case when you're in the courtroom. Does everyone understand? All right, everyone, please rise for
Yours. All right, so we will be back at 1:30. And y'all need to leave your microphones behind. Yes. Megan, did you confer with Megan on this? Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
There's a request for travel.
Okay.
They want to go to they say it's the happiest place on earth. I don't know. I haven't been. Look at you trying to get brownie points for forgetting anything. We will make sure that the happiest place on earth, you said, is in the presence of your wife.
Oh, there is.
Oh, there you go. Well, when you say that, you can't do that grand on the side. Yes. Oh, Adelman can look for that file over break. Yeah, we're on recess right now. He's gonna go look for the file. Just remind him. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
What case is it?
Jose Sanchez.
Okay.
It's a BW, it's a big fat file.
Is it not there? Yeah, I just looked up some questions about it. I do need